Hello and welcome to another game of World of Warships. Today I'm in the Nürnberg, the tier 6 German cruiser. I am on the map Fault Line in the Domination game mode, and it is a tier 6 battle. Now the Nürnberg is a nice ship. It's pretty similar to the Königsberg, the tier 5 cruiser. It still has the 16.5 kilometer range, which even at tier 6 is quite nice for a cruiser. It offers adequate firepower, the anti-air is a bit on the weak side, and generally, like all German cruisers I've had so far, the Nürnberg is very vulnerable to citadel hits. There is not a lot of armor there, and you will also take a lot of critical damage and lose modules like maybe your engine. It's just not a very sturdy ship, so you should try to avoid getting shot, and mostly you should try to avoid showing a broadside. That is of course true for all cruisers, but the Nürnberg is, I think, a bit more squishy than the US and Japanese counterparts. Now that said, let's take a look at the map and the game. I am driving to the point C here. Usually I don't wanna be here unless I'm in a cruiser or in a destroyer, and I always want a destroyer with me, because this is kind of a death trap. There is not a lot of room to maneuver, and there will always be destroyers shooting torpedoes down there. And it's very important that you get a destroyer of yourself, of your team, somewhere here to spot enemies. Now, there is no destroyer here, so what am I doing here? Well, as you can see, this destroyer here hasn't moved yet, this destroyer here hasn't done anything useful either, and I figured my team could use some support here. B is too open, you only want to go to B in the beginning of the match if you are a destroyer, and driving to A I decided is too far away, so I'm trying my luck and supporting my teammates who are rushing in there. Now you can see we have a battleship here. You never ever want to be here in a battleship, especially not this early in the game when you can expect enemy destroyers to be around here. Now there is a destroyer, he's probably engaging this battleship, and you've already seen there are quite a few torpedoes coming around here. Now I am shooting armor piercing at another Nürnberg, and I'm doing what I said you shouldn't do. I'm showing him my broadside because I'm greedy and I want to shoot all my guns, and I want to turn around. I did score a citadel hit, which is nice, and yeah, I just demonstrated why you don't want to show your broadside. While I did show mine, but yeah, I just took advantage of enemies who are not very experienced. Now this guy, he is pretty much sitting in the open, presenting his broadside and not moving. Now he decides to move, but it's, yeah, you never wanna stop out in the open. You're just gonna get killed. Now you should vary your speed. Get me wrong, you don't always have to drive at full speed just to make it harder to aim at you, but standing still is a bad idea, because it takes quite some time to get your engines going again, and if an enemy isn't bad, he will just hit you. Now I have changed my target to this destroyer because he is the much more immediate threat, and he will also try to kill my battleship here. I managed to kill that destroyer, and this battleship, he is trying to avoid torpedoes. Torpedoes are coming from multiple sides, and he was only hit once, which is great for him. So far I've been quite lucky in that department, but he really shouldn't be at this point. I mean, yeah, I have to admit, if you spawn over here, it is a long way to A, and B is problematic. It's a bad situation overall. I think that the way ships spawn on this map isn't ideal. But the only reason he's still alive is because he's been pretty lucky, because they didn't have destroyers too early on here. Their destroyer was on the outside and just shot his torpedoes through the middle here. And this destroyer here is rather late to the party, so basically he's alive because he got lucky. I mean, okay, so am I, because nobody is taking advantage of me showing my broadside. So I can just use that and use all my guns. I mean, if the enemy is stupid, you really should take advantage of that. Now, I am shooting the destroyer. The cruiser here would be the easier target, but I want to protect my battleship, and I think that the destroyer is a much bigger threat. But yeah, battleship finally got taken out. I mean, what does he want to do in this position, right? Turning around takes ages, and while he does, he is very easy to target with torpedoes. He doesn't want to show his broadside to someone who can shoot torpedoes. If he is driving straight through here, he will get even closer to the destroyer. So finally he got trapped in this little area here, and yeah, met the fate that he should have expected to meet here. Now, unfortunately, I was already driving through this little gap here. I didn't want to reverse, because while you're reversing you're pretty slow and you are a sitting duck, and it would have probably resulted in my death unless the enemy is even more incompetent than I think. So my only option was to go forward. Now, we have a destroyer back there who is engaging their destroyer. And now Mutsuki has a lot more health. Also, they are both Japanese destroyers, they both have rather shitty guns. It's not like one of them is truly outgunned, even though they aren't the same tier. So, considering the health difference, our Mutsuki really shouldn't have much of a problem of dealing with the Minekaze. But after everything I've seen this game, I still decide that maybe he needs help. And the rest of my team is just too far away. It's much better to help here, make sure this point is secure, and then go over there and help the rest of my teammates. So, well, our destroyer is dead, and this Minekaze hasn't really lost any health. Now, it was easy to kill him. It's unfortunate that I was too late to save our destroyer. It's also unfortunate that our destroyer wasn't able to handle it on his own, but maybe he just got unlucky. There we have someone in our team whining that the enemies are cheaters, something like that, because he got Citadel hit. I'm guessing from his performance that he probably is just a bad player, and he showed his broadside and drove in a straight line without trying to take any evasive action and got killed for it. But I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen exactly what happened over there. Usually when you have someone cry that the enemy is cheating, he's just a bad player. At least that's my experience. And he's now insulting people, and I think I reported him for misbehavior in chat. Now, it's not looking good. I'm having a great game so far, but the rest of my team isn't. And we hold 2 points, but it really doesn't matter because we lost almost all of our guys at A. And yeah, we are... Well, when you look at how many ships we have, there isn't that much we can do. And we might be leading point-wise, but it's not a lead that matters too much. It's not like we can kite the enemy around. They could just cap the points and turn this around. We are too far away from a victory to do something like that. Now I am hoping to get a few Citadel hits on this Furutaka. I'm shooting her with armor-piercing ammunition. He isn't really showing me his broadside. He's trying to take evasive actions, turning his ship around so far. I wasn't able to get a good hit. Maybe I can get one now. Nah. And there he goes. No Citadel hit, but I didn't need one. Now I have to be aware here, due to the whining in chat, I think they have at least somewhat competent players over there. And I got my Confederate, which is always pretty nice. And yeah, there are still 6 enemies remaining. There are 3 of us. Our destroyers would need some good torpedo hits here. Oh, and there goes one of our destroyers, I guess. So, I really can't get good hits on this guy. I've switched back to high explosive because he didn't show me great angle, and I figured if I can just get one fire going, that's probably enough to kill him. And yes, there is always the chance for armor piercing to do 0 damage, because it can bounce if it's a very unfortunate angle. So if someone's that low, I figured let's go high explosive. But he is doing a very good job at dodging, and I'm doing a not so very good job at aiming. So he is escaping me, which is pretty bad, because we could really... and oh my god, there are torpedoes coming. So far, not that bad, and I got my engine knocked out. Some other stuff. I repaired it, and oh shit. Yes, this guy is definitely shooting armor piercing at the moment, just took heavy damage. I got set on fire. Refill secondary something. And yeah, I'm burning into locations. I got my engine knocked out again. And I managed to torpedo him, but it doesn't matter anymore. I'm burning into places. I will die.